Episode number 200.
200.
I'm Rick.
I'm Mike.
And I'm Bryce. See ya, right in the middle where I'm supposed to be.
Right there.
So let's record.
Okay. Real quick, minor correction. Hey now. Last week,
just for 2 seconds.
Come on, you're
2
gonna
seconds.
break my...
Last week I said that Tell 'em Steve Dave did episode 200. I was off by 100. It was episode 300 they did.
Yeah, that's quite a bit off.
I don't like this either.
Yeah.
I can't
I
perch.
tried.
I can't perch.
Okay. I tried to scooch.
I know.
The episode 300. I listened to it, by the way. It was very entertaining. It was 222 minutes long.
That's long.
Wait, so the question was, it was actually episode
300, not 200. Yeah, I said 200 last
Close,
week
100 off,
mistakenly. But yeah, it was a really entertaining episode. You should listen to it. They had a. Did you catch any of that all last week when I was talking about it?
No, not that part.
So what they did was, like I've told you about this before. Tell 'em Steve Dave every once in a while, like on a big milestone show, they do like quiz show style games or weird things like that. So what they did was, and then you know the story about the guy who was squatting on the domain tellemstevedave.com,
Yes.
but now he's like part of the show. He works at the fucking stash now, by the way.
Really?
Yeah. And so his alias online everywhere is Get 'em Steve Dave. And so they just call him Get 'em. So they did Get 'em to the Chapel, and they had a game where two girls came in and played like a 4-hour-long fucking game, and the winner gets to marry Get 'em Steve Dave.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Did they hire him knowing that it was the same
Oh
person?
yeah. They know. They just recently hired him, but he's been around the show recently and has become really good friends with the guys actually. But yeah, it's a really interesting story, how he got to where he's at. But yeah, so they did like I said, it was 222 minutes long, and they ended up being married by somebody. I mean, they didn't go down and get a marriage certificate or anything like that. But one of the Impractical Jokers, Sal, what's his fucking name? You watch Impractical Jokers at all?
I don't.
The Brian Quinn show? It's actually pretty decent.
I've heard that.
But yeah, one of them is, an ordained minister.
Yeah.
And so he married them.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was really funny. It was really entertaining. You guys should check it out. It was pretty funny. You again with the surge, man. You're killing me. I'm trying to be good. I'm trying no sugars. And last week he's like, well, there's Surge and Ecto Cooler in the fridge. And then he's just chugging it. Just chugging it, yeah.
You are just chugging it. You just opened it. You want me to go get you another?
You want to throw some? You should throw some vodka and triple sec in that, and that's delicious. But yeah, Tell 'em Steve Dave episode 300 was actually really entertaining and funny. But yeah, that's my correction from last week.
All right.
Hello, Bryce.
I could have possibly helped out with that if I was here.
Yeah.
But I would have had no reason to fact check because I just would have believed you.
Yeah. I think that was the deal too. Like I was just like, yeah, it's 200, just like us. Yeah, right there. So this is the first time we've been on the show together. In a while.
Yeah.
Fucking life happens and shit.
It does. And you can see it how I am the pastiest one here if you look at this on camera.
I've spent a lot of time outdoors this summer.
Yeah.
A lot of time outdoors, which is good. Which is very good. But yeah, so what you been up to, man?
Stuff.
Like I haven't talked to you or anything, which
I
is
haven't talked to
a
you.
fucking lie. We talk to each other at least once a day.
Yeah.
And if it's not talk to each other, we're playing
We
Words with
haven't,
Friends.
but we haven't talked to each other.
Right, it's true.
Yeah.
We've been sending a lot of text messages back and forth,
Yeah.
which is, I don't know why, like, it's weird. So Rick, we've talked about this before, like, Bryce and I will go on binges where, like, it'll be, like, towards the end of the day, and I'll be like, Bryce hasn't fucking voxed me today. Well, I'm not gonna fucking vox him, and he's thinking the same exact thing. So it goes that way when we do, message each other. It's like, well, he fucking sent me a text first, so I'm gonna send him one back, and I know he thinks the exact same way. He's like, I'm not gonna fucking talk to him if he's
exactly
just gonna
what
send me a
happens.
text message.
Exactly what
So yeah, one of us ends up having to break the ice. It's pretty funny. We're like an old married couple.
It's totally the case. Did you watch what I sent you, by the way?
The music video?
No.
Yeah.
the stuff I sent you yesterday, that was the making of like the mission thing almost.
Oh no! I went to log in, but then we left the house yesterday,
Okay.
and I was like, well, I'll watch this later, and I just haven't watched it yet. But is it really cool?
Yeah, it's 6 minutes.
All
It's
right.
like what we liked. It's like getting. I think it's cool if they do it this way. They gave us a song,
Yeah.
and then we're gonna maybe hopefully get the making of afterwards. So it's
Yeah.
kind of like getting the little bits of Mission Metallica that we would get,
Yeah.
but all in one. So it's 6.5 minutes long,
Nice.
and it's them doing.
That's
some-
cool because we both, man, that Mission Metallica thing. Almost 10 years ago, 8 years ago at this point, right?
Yeah,
2008.
8 years.
Ahead of its time, even though it was only 8 years ago.
Yeah.
So ahead of its time. They sold memberships, and it was with the purchase, the pre-order of the album, right? And you got a login and password for missionmetallica.com, and every day, every single day, they would post something. Whether it was a video of them in the studio just riffing on something, something of them in the tuning room on a tour riffing on something, old live shows for free, like 1982, 1983 live shows when they were first together
Oh my God.
performing stuff, like, and the audio on some of those were awful, but it was just so cool
Yeah.
to hear. And yeah, free downloads of, oh, we're gonna be on tour. We played a song off the album that we haven't talked about before. Here's a download for that show, that entire show, not just the one song. Like, yeah, videos, like montages, and they did that. It was like what, 6 months?
It seemed
6
like it was
months-
quite a
6
while.
months
'Cause-
long?
Yeah, because I think the first time that site went up was in May. And the album didn't come out till September.
Yeah,
So close.
yeah. So
to
just
that.
about 6 months of a build for an album to release, and like.
Yeah.
It was basically what people do now with YouTube and vlog every day and all this other shit. And it's like, but they did it, and it was the first time that Metallica sold something digitally or physically through a pre-order system through their website.
Mhm.
It was the last album on a major label. So now, this album that's coming out in November, they're independently publishing on their own
Oh,
and releasing on their own.
That's cool.
Yeah, and so me and Bryce have kind of been waiting for this for 8 fucking years to see how they were gonna do this again.
Yeah.
And like, it's insane, man. And
That's
the new
insane,
song is
yeah.
actually really fucking good.
It's really
And it's the title track off the album, which is Hardwired to Self-Destruct.
Yeah. And I don't know if you read the article, the Rolling Stone article. If not, did you read it?
Yeah, the two CDs.
Well,
The
no.
third-
Well, there's that, but I sent you an article to
Oh,
Rolling
did you?
Stone yesterday too. I'll tell you.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, but anyways, it's interesting. Sorry, this is turning into Metallica corner for a
It's all right.
second.
Oh,
But
let's
see,
go
Mike
for
and I
it.
haven't talked. So you should still read the article. Like it's like one of the
Oh, yeah.
last things I've watched to you. But I think what was it? Basically, that song was so new, they just finished it on Monday, and
What, shot the video on Tuesday, released it
I don't
on
know when they
Wednesday?
shot the video, but that was a song where basically like they added it. They were looking at their collection of songs, and I guess they decided like I want something like let's just make something that just would just be a good opener for the album, and let's just work on it. And he said just James and Lars worked on it, and they worked on it in a week. And Lars said that's like us creating a song in a nanosecond. Like we created, recorded, produced the song in a week, and so that was the last thing that they've recorded, and that's how fresh
And
that song
I liked
was.
the video. It felt like One Meets Enter Sandman
Yeah.
video.
Just simple.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it was just really cool. Like, it's just crazy. If you read that, like,
Yeah.
Lars, in his words, you hear it better. So if you read the article, but it's just like,
All right, we need to fly to Brooklyn right now because I need Chris Jericho to read this article to me in his Lars voice.
yeah, that'd be amazing. But it's just crazy to hear. Just like, yeah, like then 4 days later, like they decided
Yeah.
to play that song. But just interesting, like, because this was a song that just came up at the last second. The album's not even done. Like, you know, the article's talking about Rob
Yeah.
still laying down bass parts, but like
They cranked that out.
so they're gonna do all that stuff. And it's just interesting, like you said, complete opposite with the last album. Like now it's like, as I was telling you that stuff was all happening live, it's like, oh shit, they're playing a new song. I'm like, oh fuck, you can pre-order the album. Here's
Yeah.
the cover. Here's the track list. That was all let out to us in stages before. Remember they unveiled
Yes.
the name of the album in like pictures each day or something.
Yeah.
And so it was just like, boom, here it all is. So it's really interesting though. Like read that article and then you're gonna like I said,
The making of the song
it's a
thing,
6.5 making of the song of those two,
That's sweet, man.
and it's pretty cool to check
I
out.
like what they've been doing, like even going all the way back to a year and a half in the life. Like
Mhm.
the videos and the content they've been producing about making their albums and touring and all that stuff. I think it's really cool. And there's that whole era of Metallica kind of gets shit on by people,
Yeah.
but were ahead of their time, way ahead of their
Yeah,
time.
definitely.
Even going all the way back to year and a half in the life.
They really were. I mean, they could film everything too.
Yeah.
And that song, man, they haven't released a song that short. That's like Kill 'Em All.
Yeah.
That song's 3 minutes.
It's
and
really
15
short.
seconds.
That's the only thing I was like, it's it?
Yeah.
Like, Kirk's solo wasn't a solo. It was just like...
it starts and it's going
and
to
then
go
it's
somewhere
on,
and
then
then
it's gone. I was like, what the hell?
But it had very little wah in it,
Yeah.
which was interesting.
Yeah.
And the production sounds really good. Sounds better than Death Magnetic.
It felt like Ride the Lightning.
Yeah. Yeah. So it was...
And you know how I feel about
I
that
know,
album.
I know. So like knowing that that's a song that they specifically wrote to open the album, like, yeah, that's cool, that's cool. They want this fucking just melt your face off 3.5 minute song, boom, there it is.
Yeah, and it's nice and concise and like it does what they want it to do. Just kind of kick your ass.
Yeah. So I thought that was cool. And then just to go on what you're saying, I mean, fuck, I know we aren't. Today would have been a crazy day if we did go to SoCal Pro because SoCal Pro and then NXT Takeover.
Yeah.
And then. This is another thing that they do that they don't have to do, but tonight is that concert where they're opening up the Vikings' new stadium. And that concert, I don't think it's going to be video, just audio, but the whole concert will be available to stream on Pandora and on Metallica.com
Oh
for
shit,
free tonight.
that's awesome.
And it's like, bands don't have to do that, but they've done that. Their last few shows that they've done, prior to this one, you've been able to watch.
What's it called? The too big for the big game or whatever.
Yeah,
too big for halftime.
Right, that one you were able to watch. This one they're streaming. They probably will play Hardwired tonight live, so that'll be its debut. That's the other thing that Lars said that made me happy. He's like, we kind of would rather people to hear the recorded version of the song and not something that's been recorded by 900 fans on a shitty cell phone recording. Yeah. So, because people keep asking, like, are you going to play another new song? He's like, oh, well, let me just put it this way. Like, you have a better shot of hearing a new song now. He said it's like, than you did a couple hours ago. And so, like, well, what about something other than Hardwired? And he's like, well, to what I just said, it's like, you can come to that decision on your own, but if we play something new, we want people to hear the recorded version first, so.
Right. That makes sense.
Yeah. So who
Control your content.
What's that?
They're doing that tonight. They're live streaming it tonight.
Yeah.
Tonight.
On Pandora.
And
then their website, I
And
think,
their
too.
website. And it's
I
free?
think probably on Facebook. Yeah, it's free.
Cool.
That's pretty awesome, man.
Mm-hmm. So
Doing it right, man.
It's
Like,
cool that they do that.
I remember when everybody went all crazy when, like, Trent Reznor was releasing those albums for "I'll Pay What You Want," and they were terrible. So who else did that? Somebody else did that. Radiohead. That's who it was. Radiohead did that too. Pay What You Want.
That one was good. Trent Reznor one.
I mean, I'm not a fan of Radiohead. That was a fucking Radiohead ass album.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I can say about it. I won't say it was good or bad, but sure was some Radiohead on that album.
Yeah. Sorry, guys, that was my phone going off. So all the time I'm like, hey, what's going on? What's all those sounds? And then I'm looking down my
God,
phone.
now I'm getting perched.
That's
Jesus
me.
Christ. Okay.
Anyways, Mike and I can gush about Metallica stuff.
It's good stuff. I really
cool.
dig it. It's heavy and it's fast.
Yeah.
But it's not like heavy and fast for the sake of it.
Yeah, it's different. It felt more. Not that My Apocalypse did it, but this felt like them really like, this is just a song. This is a Metallica song in 2016.
Like, you and I talked about Death Magnetic before, and like that album felt like they went out there with something to prove.
Yeah.
This album feels like they're like, oh yeah, we're fucking Metallica, guys. Like, that's what, so far, just that song.
Right.
That's what that song feels like.
That's just how it feels.
Everything off Death Magnetic felt like they were trying to prove something.
Mm-hmm.
And I really love that album, and it's high on my list.
Yeah.
But it's something they're going to start doing for a while?
What?
If they decide to put out another album or something?
It'll be another 8 years.
Would it be that long?
Well, let's hope it's not.
How long is their album, like, releases?
I mean, they've gotten worse and worse. I mean,
really?
The thing is, though, like, they're not, you don't not hear from them for 8 years, though. I mean,
they're constantly touring.
If they're not touring, they did that, they did that collaboration with Lou Reed. They did the concert movie. They released, like four songs
from that didn't make the album.
So there was still activity, but fans wanted a new album.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, but they basically have admitted that they lost their ass on the movie because they made that movie with their own money and it didn't do that well. And so Yeah, but that took up a lot of their time. If they didn't make that movie, even if they didn't do the Lou Reed thing, we probably would have had a new album sooner. But, you know, whatever. I mean, it sucks for fans that just want new stuff,
Yeah.
but they wanted, I guess, as artists to scratch certain itches. And they
that's
did
fine.
it.
Yeah, that's good. Do your thing.
Yeah,
but,
let
like,
them do it. So I hope...
they said when they did
Yeah,
the listening party at headquarters with
Yeah.
Dave Grohl and Dave Grohl.
Dave Grohl was
and,
the host. Was the...
Who's the drummer for
Something
Foo Fighters?
York, right?
Taylor
York?
or something.
It's not
Hawkins.
Hawkins. Taylor Hawkins.
Who's Taylor York?
I don't know.
Christian York.
Yeah.
Who's
yeah,
that?
Wrestler.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. That's what
Yeah. They Taylor Hawkins and Dave Grohl hosted it, and they did like a listening party, and they basically played every song on the album and talked about every song before they played it, and then they live streamed like the after part, like video streamed the after part.
Yeah.
And like people were asking like, oh man, it's been 8 years since your last studio album.
Yeah.
And then James goes, come on guys, it's not gonna be that long again. like he's like, all right, we get it, get it. We took a long time. It's not gonna be like that again. Flash forward to 2016, 8 years later.
So
that's a long fucking time.
I hope it doesn't keep going down that road. I hope they scratch their itches and that they won't.
I mean, if they wait another 8 years, they're gonna be in their fucking 70s.
Exactly. So that's why I'm having hope that that's not the case.
Yeah. So it was 81, right?
No, for first album?
83. 83, 85. Or were the first albums 83, 84, and 85?
I think so.
Yeah.
Two of them are back to back.
Yeah.
It might be 85, 86.
Okay, so it's 83,
Ride 85,
85,
Master
86. And then
Justice, I think, is 88.
88. And then 91.
Is it 90 or 91? I think it's
90. Okay, and then?
Yeah, and then
all right.
Yeah, it was definitely 91. Because think about how
91.
long. I think it was 91. Because they toured on that album for a while too. So I think Load came out in 96. I want to say 96.
Yes, I'm with you on that. Yeah.
And then Reload was probably 97.
Yes.
And then Garage Inc. I think. Did that come out before S&M or after?
Right around the same time, but I don't really count that one though.
I know, but I'm just thinking of their activity.
Yeah.
Then after that, their first original album was 2003, Saint Anger.
Yeah. And then 2008.
In 2008, not 2016.
It just keeps getting longer and longer and longer. Who knows? Maybe they'll fucking back-to-back us with this one.
Well, yeah, I hope it'd be cool if they did. It's interesting too, like that it's a double album when it's 6 songs. I almost have to. I'm curious to hear more about that. If there is an artistic reason to that.
Well, did they say it's like 84 minutes total?
I think it's nearly 80 minutes.
Yeah.
And I guess like you could press the CD at like 78 minutes or something. So maybe
they
didn't want to cut anything. So it could just be something as simple as that. Or I'm wondering if they're.
Watch they recorded within that 8 years, 3 albums.
Well, that's crass. So they're doing a double CD, or a double disc, or double album, whatever you want to call it. 12 songs. 12 songs. And then they have a third disc that's got
their ideas.
14, I think, 12 or 14 tracks that's got like ideas and stuff that they didn't flush out all the way.
Right. Or I think it shows, that, and I think it's also going to be like where some of the songs came from. Plus, Lords of Summer, I think, is on there too.
Yeah.
I don't know if it'll be a different
version. I wish they would have called this album what they joked about Death Magnetic. Fit 'em All. Because they had all those riffs.
Yeah. So, anyways.
Yeah. Sorry, we didn't mean to. Metallica Metallica hour
this show. It's big for us.
It's huge, man. I'm a huge fan of the band.
Yeah, definitely.
So that's cool.
Todd Kennedy's fucking pumped, by the way.
Is he?
Yeah.
Did he post stuff?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
It's exciting. And I was just happy with this. I just think the production sounds really good.
I think everybody started talking about it about an hour and a half after you messaged me. And it was cracking me up because I already watched the video like 3 or 4 times and really got the song in my head and everything. And then it's like, oh shit, new Metallica everywhere. I was like, where you guys been for the last 2 hours?
Seriously, come on now. It'll be cool if they play that live tonight.
Yeah, it'd be sweet.
I'm excited for you to watch that video because that's exactly the stuff that we eat up. And you'll love it.
So good. That was the best money I spent, was that Mission Metallica membership.
Yeah, it was cool. Anyways.
Blade Runner 2.
Yeah. Blade Runner 2. I'm not super jazzed about a Blade Runner 2 as much as I like the original.
Apparently Leto.
Yep.
Has been tapped for this.
Any idea of the character or anything, or are they going off the existing universe?
I'm pretty sure they're gonna go off the existing universe. I just don't know what he has tapped for. It just said that he has been offered, I believe. Does he get an offer? Yeah. Oh no, yeah, he's officially signed.
So you mentioned a certain somebody really likes Blade Runner.
Yeah.
What does she think about this sequel?
You know, I think she's excited about it just because
It's Blade Runner.
Right.
Right.
And I mean, I think that's also why she's excited about this return of Star Wars too, because she likes just sci-fi stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So for her, more
Yeah,
sci-fi into the market is best. But I haven't really gotten her full. I haven't gotten her real opinion. Like, I don't know if she's upset that it's being made. I think she's more excited about it. She's like, she loves Blade Runner.
I'm just so fucking skeptical about all of these sequels and reboots and extensions coming out. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know.
We're 200 episodes in.
I hope it's good. I hope it's good.
Yeah.
So Leto is the recent of the latest in a long list of stellar A-listers to join the cast. The others enlisted Ryan Gosling, Robin Wright, and Dave Bautista.
Oh, look at that! I remember
I remember that
you
too.
mentioned that. I'm really excited about that. Ryan Gosling.
Just to name a few of those. And Ford is definitely coming back, I believe. Of course, the movie wouldn't be complete without Return of Deckard himself. Harrison Ford seems...
They'll just
intent on
do him
making
like
it.
they
'Cause I
did
know
him in Star Wars.
Ford definitely wanted to be a part of the next Blade Runner. I know
Yeah,
that.
he
mentioned that for sure.
That was
And-
one of his favorite movies he's seen.
Yeah.
He said.
So, yeah.
Is there anybody like from the first movie like involved at all? I mean, aside like as far as like people behind it.
Writing, directing. That's Ridley
just
Scott,
Ridley
right?
Scott,
Yeah.
really.
Okay.
Did he write the original, or did he just direct it?
I don't know. That I don't know. Like I said, I
Okay.
fell asleep.
I don't really like.
That doesn't mean you can't get information on the movie.
I mean,
No, I
it's just
I'm getting it right now.
Well, it's not that important. I'm just wondering.
I do remember the first time I saw it was the extended version one of it because I remember
so fucking long.
I got that as a gift for my roommate, and he's like, "Oh, we gotta watch this." I'm like, "All right," and like halfway through it, I fell asleep.
Yeah.
Get it as a GIF, huh?
That. Yeah, you gifted it to him.
Get gifted it. That's a gif.
No, I'm just.
No, you didn't.
No,
Me
you
and
didn't.
Bryce are on a kick about that because we don't
Oh.
give a fuck what the person who created the format says.
GIF and GIF.
GIF stands for graphical interchange format. Therefore, if you say it all together, it's GIF.
Yep.
I don't care what
care.
fucking dude says.
No,
GIF.
the writers were Hampton Fancher,
Mhm.
David Webb Peoples,
So not the same.
for the first movie.
Okay.
Right.
Who's
As
and
far as
Ridley,
the second
and Ridley
movie,
Scott directed it,
Okay.
Yeah,
first
he
one.
directed it.
and he's directing this as well. Correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Untitled Blade Runner
Well,
sequel.
yeah, Untitled Blade Runner sequel.
Producer. Click it. See if there's any. Maybe it's too early. Maybe no one's attached.
Yeah, maybe.
Writers Philip K. Dick. Ridley
Dennis
Scott.
Ridley
Oh, cool.
Scott is doing the story,
And
but
three
it
more
shows
credits.
Dennis Villeneuve.
You should just have my guy read it.
That guy.
But yeah, okay. I'm like all these sequels, extensions, remakes, whatever. I'm just
The Prisoners.
you have to impress me. Like this is where my breast side comes out. It's like I'm not gonna just fucking give. You have to impress me. You have to impress me.
And they directed
Yeah.
Prisoners, and I know that was a well-received movie.
It's. I mean, again, it's been a theme of this 200 episodes of podcasting so far.
Yeah.
But yeah, like to Mike's point, I'm this like I think I saw a bus go by that said this the other day, and I'm just like, holy hell! And there's probably more, and there's been other seasons that have been just as guilty about this. But this fucking TV season alone, there's a Lethal Weapon show, there's MacGyver,
That's right.
and there's an Exorcist TV show centered around the movie coming out, which is going to be, I think, just on regular Fox 11, which is already a fucking fail because it's about demonic possession. You know, like, I mean, I'm sorry, like, I need a little bit of, like, you know,
And I don't know if it already came
crucifix
out.
masturbation and other stuff. Like, that's part of it. I'm sorry, it's part of it.
I don't know if it already came out, but X-Files was supposed to...
That already happened.
Yeah.
That did already happen?
That happened, like,
Oh,
earlier
wow,
this
I'm
year,
like way
January.
behind on
Yeah.
shit then.
But it's just like, I mean, there's probably more, but it's almost comical. Like in 2016, there's a new MacGyver. There's a Lethal Weapon show, which actually the trailer for Lethal Weapon didn't look that bad, I will say.
24 Legacy.
MacGyver. Oh wait, Frequency. You know
Frequency,
the movie
that's
Frequency?
right.
Love
Yeah.
that movie.
Yeah, love that
Has
movie.
that
There's a
come out
TV
yet?
show coming. No, I don't think it's out yet. It's going to be on Channel 5.
It's such a good movie.
Yeah, sorry for people.
CW.
CW. It's a fucking phenomenal movie, but it's
You know who?
insane.
You know who the lead in that is, right?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Jim Caviezel.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That was the first thing
On
I
the
ever.
movie,
That was
yeah.
the first thing I saw him, and I was like, "Man, that dude's a good actor."
He is a great actor.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, and then like Rick and I think we've always talked about some you haven't been on the show, but then Jim Caviezel was on Person of Interest, and
Interest.
rewatching him on Person of
Yeah.
Interest, I'm like, man, that guy totally could have been Batman.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
especially the way he does it, like he
He's Batman.
easily could have been Batman and Bruce Wayne. Like really,
Yeah.
Like there was a time where he was being looked at as like, "Oh, he's the next Brad
The
Pitt."
next thing, yeah.
He's good looking. He's a really good
he's a
actor.
great actor.
He seems to be picking good stuff, and then he played Jesus in Passion of the Christ.
Yeah, let's keep on the theme.
Yeah.
There's Passion of the Christ 2 coming our way too. I don't know when, but it's coming.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's happening.
Yeah.
Kevin Smith, I think, is the one that made
Passion
me
of the
aware of
Christ
that or
2,
something.
Resurrected.
Yeah.
Or I heard it. It's definitely happening. I don't
Yeah,
know where
yeah.
I heard it, but
I
it's
can't
happening.
help but think of that Mad TV. I don't know if you watch Mad TV. There's a Mad TV skit where they make fun of like Terminator and have Jesus as Terminator coming back.
I haven't seen that. That's funny.
Yeah, I was a big Mad TV watcher.
I liked that first season. I've said this before, but once Artie Lang got fired / left the show, I stopped watching because he was.
That was
funny.
What are you doing?
I was thinking about sitting there, but
Oh no! Oh no!
I was just gonna put my feet, but it's okay.
What was
And they would
that?
just be all crushed.
My white mama.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
Let me break my foot off in your ass.
yeah. That was a good skit. I like Artie a lot, but he's a fucking idiot, so he ruins everything for himself. But yeah, I'm
So
not just gonna go see something because of a name or
Right.
because of a franchise.
It's
or,
how you approach the new Star Wars.
Yeah.
I gotta give it a watch. I really do.
Yeah, they made me want to see Force Awakens. I talked about that before, but at Comic-Con, the year it was fucking coming out, last year at Comic-Con, when they showed that video of like, we're going as practical with the effects as we can,
Mm-hmm.
and showed that stuff, and I was like, I'm in. I want to see it. That it had nothing to do with the story, it had nothing to do with the people coming back. That attention to detail and that care they were putting into the product, that's what made me want to see it. And then with Rogue One, a Star Wars story, what makes me want to see it is I've always wanted to see how they got the plans to the Death Star.
Yeah.
And that's what this movie's going to be.
Like I can't wait to see
I'm
that movie.
so excited. Like once I found out what the story was, I didn't need to see a trailer. That's the story I've always wanted to see. So I'm really excited about that.
I think you'll be happy. I know you didn't watch the trailer. I think you
Yeah.
was tuned in during that part.
Yeah.
I think
I just watched the initial trailer.
Not that I know why you would be happy, but I'm just like I saw the trailer and I just feel like it seems like most people are
Yeah.
happy with it, and it does look cool.
Yeah.
So that's why I don't think you'll be disappointed.
So
And Enter Your Body.
there's that. I think that's as far as news goes. That I have. I mean, there's a bunch of other stuff like Guardians of the Galaxy is going to be in the Infinity Wars Part 2,
Mm-hmm.
which isn't actually going to be called Infinity Wars Part 2, but they're actually going to give it its own title. Don't know the title yet.
I think those movies get enough press everywhere that, you know. I mean, if you want to talk about it,
No,
sure.
no, I got nothing to add to it. So
Can you believe that they're going to fucking make Tower of Terror into a Guardians of the Galaxy ride?
Oh, that's right.
oh, I'm so pissed at that.
It took
Like,
us
I love Guardians of the
20. It
Galaxy,
took us
but no.
20 fucking years to finally get that ride here,
over here. Yeah.
and they're just gonna ruin it.
And I don't like when I heard the story initially. Like, I mean,
Have
Are
they
they-
closed it off yet?
is it still the?
Not yet.
Is
I
it
think
gonna
so.
be the same ride fundamentally? But
Yeah,
have you
it's
seen
just
the
remodeled.
Yeah, just
I haven't
remodeled and
seen
new.
it.
Like
New.
yeah, they're redoing the facade on the outside,
There you go.
redoing all the stuff on the inside.
Why are you mad about that as a fan of the movie?
Because it's Tower of Terror.
It took us 20 fucking years to get that ride here.
I
I
know.
wanted to go to Disney World. Because
That would be
of
like-
It's because we all watched Family Matters or Step by Step, whatever it was. It was what that ride's not at Disneyland. Like I remember that was my first thought. It was on one of those shows,
Yeah.
and at the one in Florida, I was like, what the fuck?
Step by Step went there. Full House went there.
Yeah.
Those two
Boy
I
Meets
know went
World.
there for sure. Did they go?
Yeah, they went.
Okay. Did they?
I I don't know.
I
Yeah,
remember
Toby
that.
was chasing Topanga to.
I feel like there's a
Disney World.
film about it
Yeah,
too,
okay.
but maybe not.
No, that was the American Gladiators one.
yeah,
That was
that too.
their one they did.
Yeah, okay.
That was dope, by the way. But yeah, like I remember seeing it on all those TV shows and hearing about Tower of Terror. I was like, man, can we fucking please get that out here?
Yeah.
And we finally got it, and now it's just gonna be a Guardians of the Galaxy thing, and it's bullshit.
I went on that once.
That would be like taking Space Mountain and being like, it's the Star Wars Trench Run. Like, no, fuck off. It's Space Mountain.
Yeah, they just changed Space Mountain to the name, right?
Yeah.
What do they call it?
Hyperspace Mountain. Which, again, it's fine because they've only added subtle
kept
things
it.
here or there. But it would be like completely rebranding that ride as, like I said, the Star Wars Trench Run or something like that.
Well, wait. It's Hyperspace Mountain all the time now?
Yeah.
I thought that was just for a short thing in
I
promotion with
think-
the movie.
I thought it was
I thought they
too,
were-
but
yeah.
everyone's calling it Hyperspace
Yeah, I
Mountain.
think it's kind of like the
Alright.
thing now.
Well, they're turning the whole thing into like
Yeah.
Star Wars.
Well,
line.
they're building that stuff out there, and we'll just, God damn it.
Yeah.
Leave the movie shit for Florida, man.
just don't-
leave my Disneyland the way it is.
I don't understand, like, I don't get how, like, that ride would tie into Guardians of the Galaxy. Like, why am I following?
Yeah.
I think it's supposed to be fuck, what's his name? The collector's museum. And then you get on the ride, or you walk
Okay.
through and you see all the collectors things. And
Yeah.
I mean, I know that ride is themed differently depending on where it is. Like, here it has the, what is it? The Twilight Zone sort of
Twilight Zone.
theme. Florida, I don't remember what it is, and then obviously, like, you know, like I think in Hong Kong and Japan and wherever else they have Euro Disney and stuff, it's all different themed. They try to theme it something that's
Yeah.
more catered towards the area.
Which makes sense.
but it still has the same general, like,
the
creepy
Hollywood
sort of thing.
Tower.
You know? Yeah, exactly. But that doesn't make it okay to turn into Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah,
Fuck, man. Like, I just don't like.
and it doesn't make any sense, especially if this. Most of the Marvel and Star Wars things are in the main park, aren't they?
Yeah. Well, no, they do a lot of the Marvel costume stuff. Like, a lot of the characters, they do at California
Oh,
Adventure.
they do.
Yeah.
That I didn't know.
I don't know. I think what sucks about it is I know they own it and it's their property and stuff, but like I would be more open to change at things at Disney if it involved their original fucking thing. Like, let me do something Zootopia. Give me a Zootopia ride.
Yeah.
At least it'll feel like Disney. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't feel special, but it's like, oh, this is just something that they purchased and
Yeah.
now they're implementing it into their park.
Zootopia is so good.
Bugs Land is dope. Cars Land is fucking dope.
Yeah.
Like, do more of that stuff.
Mhm.
Do more of that stuff.
Because it feels so cheap to even, you know, like, God, even like, well, I've never fully gotten this. Like, Nightmare Before Christmas isn't necessarily a Disney movie, right?
I think it was distributed. I think it was distributed
Just
by
associated.
Disney.
Okay. But I mean, yeah, like, just the stuff that, like, you see in their park that doesn't feel like an original Disney thing. It just,
Right.
it's what they threw money at is what bothers me.
Yeah. Also, fucking Nightmare Before Christmas. Don't even get me started.
Yeah.
Don't even fucking get me started.
I hear you. I like the imagery of that movie. Like, I mean, I think it's like, because I like Halloween. I think it's cool to look at stuff, but I'm not. I definitely like. I think I only saw the movie for the first time like a couple of years ago in full ever. Like, so I'm not one of those. But I think it looks cool.
I think the imagery in Little Monsters is better.
Oh well, yeah. Fuck yeah. Give me that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just associated because like Touchstone is Disney, isn't it?
I think it's
I think-
distribution, yeah.
Yeah, the distribution of it. So yeah, that's why Walt Disney Pictures.
3D version production.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know, man. I'm not excited about that. I think if you like those Marvel movies, cool, man. If you like Guardians, that's cool. But I
like
don't think they
Guardians,
should be
but
changing.
I
their
don't think they
lives.
should be changing it either.
I really don't think they should be doing that. But anyway, how do we get on that? What were we talking about?
I completely forgot.
I almost put my foot on the chair right
Rehashes?
now. Yeah, I almost put my
I
foot
don't
on the
know,
chair.
perhaps.
Kick the mic.
Yeah. Fuck the show.
Fuck Guardians of the
200
Galaxy.
episodes of this. I've had enough.
Yeah.
So on to the next thing.
Sure.
Should we do trailers or movies review?
Trailers?
That's fine.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna pull this one up first for Bryce.
Okay.
So let's get into our
So-
trailer mode.
It's gonna be a horror movie then, or it's
Or
gonna be a movie about a
someone-
horse. One of the two.
It's gonna be a horror movie for sure.
Yeah. It's really annoying. Like,
Yeah.
This whole, I don't get why we seem to be the only people. I'm not saying we're the only ones, but we seem to be like, how is it these people that work in these industries can't see like eventually you guys are gonna fucking go to the well one too many times and you're gonna build out all this stuff about the Marvel universe and eventually people aren't gonna give a fuck. Like I feel like the whole industry is all in on this one direction.
That's why I'm so excited for that South Park game because they're directly ripping on that.
Yeah, I think it's fantastic.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I'm just trying to make sure it's not dead air.
Yeah.
I don't know.
This came out during South by Southwest earlier this year.
I don't know. Like
it looks cool.
But here's the thing though. Like that. Like I definitely don't want them to show me the whole movie. But that trailer really showed me nothing. Like I don't like all I got was a bunch of people jerking it off, telling me why it's so fucking great and fantastic. It's the best horror movie ever. But otherwise, I just saw a lot of dramatic music and people's surprised faces, and that was it. So I don't know.
So yeah, the movie takes place during the 80s, during the height of the Iran and Iraq War.
Okay.
The family who finds themselves during that time, and then they start encountering otherworldly things besides what's going on around them.
Okay. I think conceptually it sounds interesting, but the trailer really didn't
I like the suspense though. Like
the suspense part of it's good, but I don't know. There's been so many I don't know. I really can't wait till you guys just watch the Conjuring movies.
Comes out October 7th.
Did you guys see the new Resident Evil trailer?
Yes.
Oh god.
That was cool.
I don't care what anybody fucking says.
Really
I love those movies. I love those movies. And I'm gonna go see that movie when it comes out. I'm really excited about it.
So did you see this? This one's for you.
Okay.
Like
no.
Batman 66?
No. Are they doing it? No, I haven't seen this.
Alright.
They tell you that I have a copy of the entire run of the 66 TV series. I bought the Blu-ray collection.
Blu-ray collection, yeah.
Yeah.
God, I haven't seen those in forever. But yeah, I saw this and I need to show you.
I'm excited.
Yeah. Definitely want to get my hands on this.
Excuse Bryce's giggling. He's over here shitting his pants.
Why is that? Oh, because of the corn.
No, because he actually shit his pants.
No, I'm excited about this movie.
So yeah, Adam West, Burt Ward back for this. As it shows there, available on digital HD and on Blu-ray combo.
Very cool. I'm probably gonna get that. That looks really awesome.
Julie Newmar will reprise.
Well, they said that in the trailer.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Good for her.
Anybody want anything?
I'm good.
Have you water?
I mean, I want something, but I'm being good. So.
Well, I'm just getting water.
Well, I have water.
So yeah, showed you that, and then one more trailer we got here is for Sully.
What's handy?
I saw that trailer.
It's the latest one. This came out
I
yesterday.
saw it when I saw Suicide Squad. So. I'm assuming.
Probably.
Have you seen this trailer?
No.
Play it. So, 208 seconds, he said?
Yeah.
It's under 4 minutes?
Yeah.
Like, that is some fucking on your toes thinking. Like, when are you going to make it? We have no way of getting back to that landing area.
It's crazy. And I mean, what a true statement.
Yeah.
It's like, I've landed millions of people,
yeah.
and I'm going to be judged in 208 seconds.
That's insane. That's pretty nuts. It's a crazy story.
Yeah.
I remember hearing about, like, all the... oh, well, he did the wrong thing stuff. But everybody kind of swept that under the rug because of the crazy thing that happened. And even if he would have gotten in trouble, nobody would have talked about it.
Yeah.
Because at that point, everybody wanted to talk about something positive.
Right.
Now, if this story happened now, that's the first thing they would be doing is second-guessing him.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Because I remember when this happened, because I watched it on TV live.
Yeah.
When they were taking everyone off the boat and everything, off the plane. The boat, off the plane. Putting everyone on a boat. I know, real magic.
Started as a plane, landed in the Hudson.
No, as a boat.
I mean, it was floating on water,
yeah.
And it was carrying passengers.
At that point.
You're not wrong, Rick.
But, yeah, everyone was calling him a hero. Everyone was praising his stuff for the good thing that he did because no one died.
Yeah.
And it was like they said in the trailer, it was the first one. No one was prepared to do this or has ever done this with a commercial airplane like that. But there was a lot of negativity towards him that was swept under the rug and no one heard about it. Like I think he got like one interview with 60 Minutes, Barbara Walters, I believe, or I don't know, Diane Sawyer, I don't know, I forgot who it was, and yeah, apparently like nobody, everyone heard the happy story, no one heard the negative, and how it impacted his life, even though he saved so many lives, and he was like demoted and cut pay and everything.
Yeah, first off, fucking Tom Hanks.
Mm-hmm.
Tom Hanks.
In.
Yeah, it looks really good.
So yeah, I'm excited. I'll watch that movie for sure. Just because, again, that's an insane story. Dude, in under 5 minutes, made a decision and saved 180 people or whatever it was.
That is a crazy story. I'd completely forgotten about it, but yeah, like, I don't know, it's a lot of pressure, and to perform that way.
Yeah.
So,
that's pretty dope.
Yeah, that's the last trailer.
All right.
So, let's regroup to Suicide Squad.
Yeah, let's talk about Suicide
we all
Squad.
saw it, and we can all get into it.
Holy crap.
Should we say spoilers ahead?
I mean, why not?
Why not?
Alright, spoilers ahead if you haven't watched or haven't seen it.
You kind of, you reviewed it last week?
I touched on it a little bit.
Non-spoiler?
Yeah.
So that was the non-spoiler review. Now I'm over that shit. I mean, we don't need to be responsible for other people. So we're good.
I agree, but at the same time, it's only been a couple of weeks.
Well, no, I know, but generally, like, when Rick and I have reviewed something lately, we've done what a lot of people seem to do now, and they say the first half is spoiler-free, and then we'll warn you, and we're going to go into spoilers. To me, you've had a week. Now it's spoiler time.
Hey, I went and saw it.
Yeah.
So, all right. Right out of the gate. Okay, so I didn't really get into a lot of stuff that... Because you kind of talked about it, and we're talking about positive stuff, and like I didn't really feel like getting into it, but I want to get into it. Like, I saw some reviews of Suicide Squad calling it lackluster and weak, and the only thing good about it was Will Smith's performance and Margot Robbie's performance. The soundtrack was so pandering, it got stuck on the classic rock station, and it didn't make any sense. And these are the same people who loved the irreverence of Guardians of the Galaxy, thought the 70s pop mixtape idea was so cool, but the Suicide Squad idea of making music a bigger part of it was one note and pandering, which I completely disagree with, because last time I checked, Eminem wasn't classic rock. That's just me. I mean,
hip hop.
I checked recently, and I don't think Eminem is classic rock, right?
No,
okay. And there's a lot of other music other than the first two songs you hear, which yes are classic rock songs and fit perfectly in the moment that they're in. I didn't end up reading the article about why the Slipknot backstory was cut and why he was cut so quickly from the movie. That's something I would have liked to have seen. So I'm gonna go like these are the things I didn't necessarily like too much. The CG on Enchantress at the end I thought was awful, but
I forgot to mention that.
the fight looked really good. The big battle.
The fight of it was great, yeah.
Yeah. With Diablo and the other character that looked really good.
That full transformation was pretty.
And
badass.
I think they saw like, all right, guys, this is where the CG money's got to go. This fight has to look good. We can skimp on the dialogue-y part, but this has to look good, and it did. I thought it looked really, really good. I do sort of agree with some criticisms of the movie of like, why are we rooting for these guys? If they're the worst of the worst, why are we rooting for them? Just for the sake of having anti-heroes? Like, they don't really get into that. And the other criticism that I don't agree with was like, they were talking about how Enchantress was a problem that they caused. Why don't you see the last 3 Marvel movies? They have to stop problems that they caused. So that to me is an invalid criticism if you're going to talk about how much you loved Ultron or the last Iron Man movie or any Marvel movie. It's a problem they caused that they had to go and fight or fix. And so that's an invalid criticism of me. So yeah, the only thing I didn't like was the short shrift of Slipknot not getting a lot of time and the bad CG with Enchantress at the end.
From like what I've looked up, that's like straight out of the comics with Slipknot.
Yeah, I know, but
How they kill him.
yeah, but they shot something. I just ended up getting cut from what I read. It's like they shot a backstory for him and everything, and just thought this would.
Movie is just too long.
And, well, that and they thought this would hit the feel of that of that moment better.
Yeah.
That was a nod for the comic book people. Like, here you go. But yeah, I really. There was only a couple of times where I felt like Margot Robbie's performance was less than stellar. But overall, I thought she did a really, really good job of putting her own twist on the Harley Quinn character.
Yeah, I like what she brought to Harley Quinn.
And Will Smith was Will Smith. He's good in everything. He's good in this. The other thing that I thought was really, really cool. So I like this better than I like Batman vs Superman: Dawn of Justice.
So then you could agree with me.
Yeah, and the reason I like it better is because the take on Batman in this movie is better than any part of Batman in Batman vs Superman: Dawn of Justice. Like, fuck, man, he was so cool in this movie. Like, I understand what they were doing with that one, with Dawn of Justice. I get it. It's cool. I really enjoyed that movie for what it was. It has its problems, as we've talked about, but I really enjoyed that movie for what it was. But this was the superior movie. This was a cool story, a mixing of a whole bunch of things, putting together these characters. And like I said, the only downside was they didn't really give us a reason to root for them, other than they had to go solve their own problem that they caused. I think it's dope that God, what's her name, playing Amanda Waller?
Viola Davis.
Yeah, she's still using her, and I think that's great. You and I both got really excited when we saw her in Green Lantern, because the way they portrayed her character. And
Oh,
like,
that's right. Yeah.
yeah, I was like, all right, they're gonna go forward with this. It's gonna be cool, and they kept her, which was the right move, the right fucking move, because she is so good in this movie. And that sequence where they're going to rescue her reminded me of The Raid.
So right.
Yeah. Just going through the building,
just
floor,
action. Oh, the action.
floor by
yeah,
floor, the action sequences.
So you're talking about the story and everything.
No, the way it was shot, like everything,
Yeah.
it felt
It
so
felt very Raidy.
Yeah, it felt like. And the thing I liked about The Raid was like it felt like you were there.
Yeah.
The
Have
way
you
they
seen
shot
that,
it.
Bryce?
Have you seen The Raid?
You gotta see
Oh,
that.
it's so good.
Especially if you like action.
I thought we were talking about Destiny for a second. Isn't that what we call it?
Oh, yeah.
I was actually trying to put it together. I'm like, is he talking about what we do? And then he's like, it feels like you're there. I'm like, okay, no.
Yeah.
Destiny.
But yeah, I really, really enjoyed the movie a lot. Not a lot of things I can complain about. There are things you can complain about. I do disagree with you though, sir, about Jared Leto. I really fucking liked his performance a lot.
I'm with you on that too.
Do you want to know why I like this performance so much? He took a little bit of Nicholson, he took a little bit of Ledger, and he mixed it with Mark Hamill.
He took nothing to Ledger.
Yeah. Oh.
He definitely took Nicholson and Hamill.
The psychotic nature of it. Come on.
That's all.
I'm not talking about the delivery. I'm not talking about the lines. The way he carried himself.
The way he carried himself
is the Ledger part. Dude, he carried himself like
I'll probably have to watch it again, but I don't see it.
And
I still feel like
I still think we did like. I can't really give a full analysis on Joker until we really
see more.
You gotta see more.
Yeah.
But I still feel like your hang up is like you're so hurt over how he looks, and I feel like you're unfairly not liking his performance because of that.
I didn't mind his look.
And then you kind of
no, not even by. I tried to do my best on like his performance, looks wise, whatever. But even like performance, like he wasn't bad, but he just wasn't.
Right, and I'm not saying you said he's bad, but I disagree with you because I thought he was fucking fantastic.
I don't think there's enough there for you to chew on a little bit.
Right,
but
I agree with that.
Exactly.
Right. But you implied this, and I was saying this all along because you said something. I only caught a little bit, but you said something about like when Rick was talking about the look, and like, isn't that kind of like what Nicholson looked?
The gangster.
And I've kind of and I'm like, that's kind of I'm like, he doesn't like. I realize he doesn't look like the way Joker has looked
Before?
lately.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I mean, to me, it's like I don't think it's that far out there of a look. I mean, he has
Right.
got some piercings and some tattoos.
I think it's funny. It's like, oh man, that's not my Joker. It's like, yeah, but your Joker has a white face and green hair. Like,
right.
how are you? I'm not saying you, but everybody else complaining about the look. It's like, wait, you're ragging on this dude who's got a couple tattoos and some piercings. When like, yeah, I don't know. I really like. There was a lot of Mark Hamill in his Joker.
Since Quicksilver, you know, I've kind of been holding the judge on looks.
Yeah.
And his performance, I say, was definitely Nicholson.
Yeah.
Inspired.
I don't know how you don't get Ledger out of it.
But the Mark Hamill aspect, you can tell
Can't speak
that if you asked Jared Leto who his Joker was, he would tell you, my Joker is Mark Hamill.
Yeah.
I guarantee you he would say that. Like, just like if like anybody, like Kevin Smith talks about this all the time about Batman. He's like, his Batman is Adam West and will always be Adam West.
Right.
He likes what Christian Bale did. He enjoys what Affleck is doing. He likes other Batman, but his Batman will always be Adam West. And I think, being somebody who grew up watching a lot of the animated series, but I love the 60s TV show. I love the 89 and 91 movies. I love the Christopher Nolan stuff, but I'm my Joker is Mark Hamill. Like, will always be, because that's, and I really feel like Jared Leto tapped into a lot of that, and I really loved the stuff at the club with Harley, and he's like, "You like her? Go ahead and take her," and that part, like you brought up like the mobster gangster kind of thing, and like the first thing I thought was like, "Whoa, dude! When the boss offers you something, you fucking take it." Like that, and that's exactly what that vibe was, because when he turns it down, that's what pisses him off. And my favorite part of the movie is that scene, because he goes like this, and the guy's like, and he leans in a kiss, and he goes, "I know you meant that." Like that right there, I was like, "Yeah, dude, you got it. You fucking got it. I want more of this Joker. I want more of him and Harley." And seeing that 2-second scene of him in the purple suit and her in the full outfit, oh my god, I really fucking like this movie.
Albatross.
Yeah.
I think it'll be really interesting to see what they include with the DVD release.
Yeah.
I mean, there was articles that came out where Leto was not very happy with how much of his shit got cut.
Right.
And so it'll be interesting to see if they show that or if it just remains on the cutting room floor. I don't know.
I'm sure that's going to be on
the theater. I saw it and it cracked me up, because when that helicopter goes down, everybody was like, "Oh no!" And I was like, "A fucking helicopter is not gonna take out the fucking Joker. Are you out of your goddamn mind?" Fucking Johnny Come Latelys over here.
Again, I don't have fucking much to stand on, but I like how evil they made Joker seem. He seems sadistic and evil, and I believe
and
it.
That's something that they tapped into with comics big time, like in the, like, I was gonna say the late 2000s, but the late aughts, if you will. Like they really tapped into the psychotic nature of the Joker and him killing people and all this other shit. So I really dug that they.
I think Leto nailed that.
It was one of those things like where I was real skeptical. I was like, "Oh man, I hope."
You watched the Nolan stuff, right?
Yeah.
Bryce?
Yeah.
What? Yeah.
Dark Knight, all that. Yeah.
You're trying to see if I'm just saying me too. Like, I know Heath Ledger's Joker.
You watched the other Batmans too? That really.
Otherwise, the other ones that I feel like that I've seen, I prefaced it by saying I don't have as much to stand on as you guys. The only other Joker I remember really well is Nicholson.
I just don't remember.
Is Nicholson's.
And I think this was like Nicholson meets Mark Hamill for sure. But I think in the way he moves, the way he walked around, the way he carried himself was that sadistic psychopath style that Ledger had. Just the aura about him, and like he mixed. Like there was even a little.
I felt like he moved more like Hamill.
There was even
or the cartoon.
Yeah, there was even a little bit of Cesar Romero in there, like just little tiny hints of it. And like, you can't go too much with that because of how hokey the '60s show is. But there's a little bit. Like that when he goes, "Oh, I can tell you really meant that." Like right there, I was like, "There's my Caesar Romero. I'm good." And I just say I could pick apart every single second of this movie and tell you why I loved it or why I thought it was too much or too little. Like Batman that's my guy, and all the heroes and villains around him, like that's my shit. And I really love what they did with all the characters in this movie, man. Like it was so good.
I mean, yeah, I don't have a lot to say because I didn't really know much about hardly any of these characters, which seems to be, again, 200th episode. You can listen to a lot of these reviews, and that's what I say about most of this stuff. But I enjoyed the movie and I had fun with the movie. I mean, I think...
Wasn't it fun?
Yeah, I had fun.
God.
I mean, then really that's all that matters. You know, I mean, I think if anything, maybe I would have wished I got a little bit more background on some of these characters. Like it would have been, because it's the same complaint maybe that I had with Dawn of Justice. It's just a lot being thrown at you. But this movie was more focused.
Yeah. And right away you could tell who the stars of this movie were. Because both Harley and Deadshot got way more time than everybody else. You knew who the stars were going to be right away. Right. And that's fine. Because those are two characters that I really like to begin with. What else is Margot Robbie? And I don't think I've ever seen. Never seen it. I've never seen her in anything. All I heard was people complaining about her look and she's not doing an accent that I'm not in. It's like I don't want her to do a retread of the Harley Quinns we already know. I want her to take it and do her own thing and put a twist on it. And the only time I felt like some of the stuff was forced with her was stuff. Not so much the bar.
Written for...
Not so much the bar. Right before that, when she fucking smashes the window of the store, and that line, "We're bad guys. It's what we do."
Right.
Like
that felt
that was written for
the trailer or for
the trailer.
And like that's really the only part where I was like, because like all the other stuff, like even the stuff at the beginning, that you could. Like, you hit on something last week that after I saw it made a lot of sense. They took a lot of elements that DC in their movies kind of shies away from. You know? Like, the Enchantress stuff. Mm-hmm. Just the cartoony nature of things. And the over-the-top stuff. And they took it and they inserted a lot of it into this movie.
How comic booky it could be.
And made it work. Like, all I heard people talk about how dark and God, this movie is such a downer, and it's like, not really, man. This movie was a lot of fucking fun. Like, it's not your regular thrill ride summer blockbuster, but goddamn, this movie was a fun watch.
Yeah. People are saying it was a downer, huh?
Yeah. Huh. It's too gritty and a downer, and then blah blah blah. And like, really?
People can shut up.
Yeah, I loved it. I thought it was great. Will Smith was really awesome.
What was wrong with her accent? I mean, she had an accent.
Well, you don't want to. They want it. People who wanted it to be exactly like the cartoon, or exactly like what we hear in.
Hers was too subtle. I mean, doesn't she just kind of have sort of this New Yorkie sort of?
Yeah, but it's in the animated series and in the other stuff. It's way over the top.
It's like over the top Long Island accent.
Yeah, and she goes in and out of it in the movie, and I thought it was fine.
I think she does. When she did bring it out, it was at the points where you would assume it would come out.
Yes, and yeah, I don't know, man. I could just like Batman vs Superman. I could keep going on, but I won't because the movie's 3 weeks old at this point already.
Yeah.
But man, I really, really fucking enjoyed this movie.
Trying to get comfortable, and then I'm realizing how ridiculous this probably looks.
You look like you have to take a shit, and you're just trying to
probably. Yeah.
Fucking. Maybe if I sit like this, it won't come out.
That's totally what it looks like I'm doing.
Sausage Party. Tell me about it.
Do you want me to go first, Rick?
Well, real quick. If you haven't seen Suicide Squad, go see it in the fucking theaters while you can. That is a theater experience, man. So.
All right.
Go for it, Bryce.
Well, I'm gonna go. Well, like you're gonna see this eventually, probably, right?
Yeah.
Right.
I know the premise.
Yeah, I know.
You can't spoil this movie. I know the premise. Go for it.
I'm just gonna give my opinion. I really liked it. I mean, I liked it. Rick.
Haven't seen it.
No, I thought it was cool. I saw. I think I was tuning into this part too. I saw Seth Rogen on Jimmy Fallon as well, and Jimmy Fallon commenting about how And it really hit me until he said it. He was like, the animation in this is great. And I was like, I'm like, wow, it really is. And then Seth Rogen said how they wanted it to look as Pixar as possible. I'm like, that's cool that they really spent the movie does look fantastic. You know what I mean? Like, and I think that I like that. Like, it showed that they did kind of take it seriously because the movie does look really fucking good.
I liked just from real quick from the other clips and the trailers and stuff I've seen. I love like it almost has a Nickelodeon vibe to it. Like,
yeah, kind of.
Almost like a Ren and Stimpy. Like when it's the humans, everything's really clean and nice lines. But then when it's the food, everything is skewed and weird. Like it reminded like a Ren and it reminded like Ren and Stimpy.
Yeah, I totally get that. God, I remember too when some of those Nicktoons got movies. I remember like, oh my god, the movie looks so cool.
Yeah,
it looks different. Like, so yeah. But yeah, the movie looks awesome, and yeah, it was really funny. It was a fun story. It was a cool, like, I'm gonna call it an original story. Like, it was a cool original story, and it was kind of interesting just to like look at things from the food perspective, and like the movie does like it's more to it than that. The movie does have a good story, and it's got some heart in it as well. And like as much as it is just kind of like this dumb like R-rated movie, you know, sort of thing, like I felt like it serves more of a purpose than that too. Like, I mean, it's got some heart, it looks cool, and yeah, I don't know, I thought it was really well done. I enjoyed it a lot.
I think it was the clip they showed on Fallon that really was like, I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because all you'd ever seen was from the food's perspective.
Right.
But then they showed it from the human's perspective, and the carrot is a regular ass carrot and just rolling off the table.
Yeah.
And then from the food perspective, it's screaming and it doesn't look like a carrot. It's just orange and kind of has a carrot-esque shape. Like, I love the flip between the two.
Yeah.
It kind of reminds me of, like, again, like, you've seen Better Off Dead, right, Rick? No?
No.
Bryce? No? God damn you guys. It's a John Cusack movie, and there's a scene that's animated. And, yeah, the animation in that is claymation, but it's very similar to, like, the look. Everything is skewed just a little bit, and I really dig that idea.
I just think the movie did a good job, too, of, like, I mean, the movie definitely takes advantage of the R rating, but I don't feel like they did certain things just to be... I don't feel like it was, like, this hour and a half of, like, let's be as vulgar as fucking possible. I feel like there was actually a kind of a steady build. You know what I mean? Like, there was cussing, there was jokes. I mean, I even think just looking at the billboard, it's so funny how deliberate they make the hot dog bun look like a vagina. You know what I mean? Like, if you look at the poster board or at some of the advertisements for it and stuff, they have Frank positioned in such a way where it's off the thing a little bit and it totally just looks like it's some dude's boner. I mean, like, little things like that. But, yeah, like, I think the movie builds to the funny, and then it specifically builds to this It builds to this one point where, like, our whole theater just kind of fucking lost it. It just kept going and kept going and kept going, and it's like, holy shit, like, it's really funny. So yeah, I don't. The movie I feel like has some heart. It doesn't feel like it's just trying to be gross out just to be gross out. Like, it doesn't feel like they're just like, let's be vulgar as possible and it's a stoner movie or whatever. Yeah. Like, it doesn't feel that way to me.
Which, that's the concept. So, like, I've said it before about Seth Rogen and the concepts for his movies. They're obviously ideas he came up with when he was high.
Right.
Obviously.
Like Kevin Smith nowadays.
But he takes the time and goes back and goes, was this a good idea? How can we make this work? And then really pours a lot of work into it and fleshes it out. And yeah, just that interview on Fallon, that alone, and then the clip that they showed, I was like, okay.
And you really see this on screen. Like, you really see how well everything is placed just at the right moment, just at the right time, just so it could have that build up to the payoff at the end. Yeah, it's funny as fuck. Like, you're going to be laughing through the entire movie, but it's molded in such a way that it just works and it makes sense and it's funny. So it's not your typical stoner comedy where you have humor just for the humor of it. This has well-constructed humor in it. You know, like, he took his time with this movie. As you saw in the interview, he said it took him like 8 or 10 years to make this movie. And you can tell, it shows it in that hard work pays off, and that's what this movie is. And it's fucking nonstop riot.
Yeah, it's really good. I mean, I think Seth Rogen's killing it lately. I think it's funny that of the three of us, I'm the only one here that's watched the whole first season of Preacher.
Yeah.
After you guys being really excited about it and, like, telling me I should do it.
See, I want... This is my problem. I'm stupid. I want to finish the run of that book before I watch the show.
I kind of feel that way too.
But I feel like I should just watch it. You know?
Yeah. I mean, I think I've probably felt that way about certain things in the past, like with Outcast and that show. Like I had the trade, I never read it, and then as the show got closer, I was like, maybe I should read this before starting the show. And then it doesn't sound like it's like there's definite changes, obviously, as you would expect anything. But then it got to a point where I got really into the show, where it's like, well, fuck, I don't know if I want to read something and kind of spoil something for the show. You know what I mean? Like, I could watch something and then feel okay about reading the material that it was derived from after the fact.
Right.
Whereas if I'm watching something for the first time and they're so close together, like, I mean, if the show's still 3 years out of it, fuck it, I'm going to read Outcast.
Right.
But I mean, it got to a point where I held on to that for so long that it was starting in a few days. I just said, screw it. And then Preacher is another thing now where now I started the show and I'm just kind of like, well, fuck, if I start reading about it, I don't know if I want to know things. But yeah, I really...
No, I get that.
Yeah,
totally get that.
I liked Preacher a lot. It was really, really good too. Just throw it out there. But yeah, I think Seth Rogen, I mean, just shows like he definitely puts a lot of heart in the stuff that he does, and he could be diverse also. Like, I mean, I know that's based off of some source material for sure in Preacher, but I mean, you could tell because they did two Chris Hardwick fucking talking Preacher things. I think one after the premiere and then one after the finale, and it was just cool to listen to him and Evan Goldberg talk about it, and you could tell they're really passionate, about it, and it's really good. It's fucking. And if you were someone that did read about Preacher, sorry, I totally made this a Preacher review. It sounds like that there's a lot of fan service that's done for people, and that you can catch a lot of things when you watch the show. Like they even made a point. It's like you could even, I think Hardwick said this, after watching the show and knowing what happens. You could go back and watch the show, and there's a lot of little things that kind of foreshadow things that could happen, and so it's very rewatchable too.
How ugly is R's face?
It's pretty ugly. Yeah. You haven't seen a photo?
Well, I just seen the comic. Yeah. I haven't seen the photo.
It's pretty fun. I mean, you want to see a picture?
No. I'll wait for until I watch it.
Yeah. No
photo.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, that's good. I don't want you.
Podcast.
I hate how much praise it's getting because I don't want you to get to the point.
I'm already there.
With
I'm already there. I'm already there.
Episode 7. I'm
What?
on episode 7.
You're on episode 7.
So he's almost done.
Yeah.
You need to ignore all that because it is that good. And fuck that! I was telling you to watch that before all that hype.
Okay, I'll watch it then.
Rick's full of shit.
Well, now I'm not gonna watch it. You just ruined it. Bro.
Rick's also kidding, though, clearly, completely.
Yeah.
He just wants the 200 episodes and see if he could say little things that are going to piss me off. I'm not going to go down that road, though. I'm not going to do it.
Pretty shitty.
Because I know he likes it.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, that's
so I don't need to watch it then, you're saying?
If you're bored,
okay.
You think I need something.
I mean, I've been playing 10-year-old video games lately, so I'm okay. I'm not bored.
So these two consider to do this all they want. But I mean, the more that this show's been out, and the more I'm hearing people like, oh, you gotta watch it. I'm like, fuck. The longer Mike waits to watch this, it's gonna be the same thing.
Yep.
But you can do that. Still need to.
I think that to me is the problem inherent with. Well, here's the whole season in one day, guys. Go for it. Like, that is the problem with that model of distribution.
Jumping on that really quick because you said that. I used to love doing that.
Binge watching?
Binge watching. I feel like the last thing I binge watched really was Jessica Jones and Daredevil season 2. And then, no, not Daredevil season 2. I didn't really binge that as much as I did Jessica Jones. It's hard to, it's not hard to watch them all. It's just you get left with alright, now you gotta wait a fucking year. And honestly, I think I like spreading them out.
I think the problem inherently becomes when an entire season ends up getting treated like one episode in your mind.
It gets all jumbled.
Yeah. That happened to me a little bit when I was watching Sons. Because I was watching 3 or 4 episodes at a time. And some days it's all I would do all day long, and I'd watch an entire season in one day. And it was one of those things where it's like, wait a minute, was that in season 2 or was that in season 3?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, no, that was season 3 because it's in season 2, blah, 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 blah. I really enjoyed watching the show that way because it was new to me, but I don't think I could watch.
The only thing that might work for watching or binging all at once might be 24. Because every season is one day.
Maybe. Yeah, then there's not like a lot of time in between. That's
I
funny.
feel like you can make that argument for Stranger Things though too, because it comes off as one big movie anyways. Like it doesn't come off. I mean,
How many
I think
episodes is it?
It definitely
8.
comes off like a movie.
And is it's hour long show?
Yeah, but it doesn't come off like this is season 1, episode 2. Like it comes off like it's this story that takes place.
Honestly,
over
it comes
8
off as
episodes.
a book
So
with the whole chapters.
yeah.
Yeah, like so I think that is the main issue with like that distribution model, man. Is like one,
Feels like a choose your own adventure book that you can't choose.
yeah. Everybody's gonna watch it all in one day because they all want to talk about it tomorrow with somebody. And okay, fine if you want to do that, but I don't like consuming things that way. Like I said, Sons of Anarchy is really the only thing I've ever consumed that way. And then the whole bandwagon problem of everybody's watched it, so let's talk about how awesome it is. And it's like there's like Ripped Apparel and Shirt Punch and T-Fear. They're already doing shirts, and it's like, well, I mean, okay, here we go. This is the new distribution model of television. Everybody's got it all right in their face in one sitting, and I think sometimes things lose what's special about them when you watch them that way.
Yeah, I can see both sides of it. I mean, I struggle with it too. I mean, obviously, I don't have a problem with using the word binge because it's like, I mean, I like to like, I'll definitely get through something. Like, I mean, I watched Stranger Things, I think, in less than a week. You know, I didn't sit down and watch the whole thing in a day like some people did.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I wrestle with it because it's like, well, fuck, like, sweet, I could see what's happening next week and I could do it now. But then I'm like, well, shit. There's how many episodes in that? Like, I'm not talking about Stranger Things. Let's say there's 10 episodes of something, and it's like, fuck, I'm already on episode 6. This is almost over. I don't want it to be over. You know what I mean? So, I don't know that I fully agree with you guys, because, like, I kind of like being able to, sometimes it puts me more into it, you know? Like, sometimes I can sit here and be like, okay, I don't have to wait a week in between episodes. I know exactly what's going on, and it's there. But then I wrestle with it because then I don't want it to be over either, because I don't want to have to wait a year. I have this problem even with video games too. Like, if I'm enjoying a game so much, sometimes I almost like savor it because I don't want it to be over. I get sad for it to be over. Like, sometimes I have when I beat a video game, it's a combination of I feel satisfied and then I feel sadness, and it's kind of like, well, fuck, what am I gonna do now? Like, I don't know. Like, there's a joke at the end, like, I don't remember it exactly. I think after the end of Monkey Island 1, you sit there and you watch all the credits, and then it goes like, okay, now shut off all the lights and go to bed, or something like that. It says something like that. It's like, well, fuck, I guess, I don't know. I guess that's what I'm going to have to do.
Yeah.
Like, I can't explore this world anymore. So I see your guys' side of it.
I don't know. I feel like I said.
But it gives you the option.
Yeah,
To do it however you
you
wanna
can
do
watch
it.
however you want to watch.
And that's kind of how I've been doing it.
Yeah.
I just, like, I don't know, man. It loses how special it could have been. Like, I understand people really love this fucking show, but I think people might have loved it more if it was once a week and they had to make it a appointment viewing to watch it.
Maybe, I don't know. I mean, I think by the same token, this isn't a knock on you, but it's like how you gotta watch, or you also have to watch it for yourself and form your own opinion.
Yeah.
What you're saying about Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
So I see how that can, like, I get how that gets annoying, because I get annoyed by that same sort of thing. It's like, oh great, everyone's gushing about it. You know?
And like, so it's not even that people are gushing about it. That's not what puts me off about TV shows or movies or whatever the art form of choice may be. What puts me off about it, especially now, is like everybody's, oh, I need to talk. I need to be in the conversation. I watched it too. Like, it's not like, wasn't that awesome? Like, if that was just the consensus, oh, it's probably,
Yeah.
you throw out the 5 stars, you throw out the 1 stars, and it's probably somewhere in the middle. But like, it's more or less the fucking need everybody has to be like, did you see Stranger Things? Oh man, when this happened, when that happened, it's like, just stop it.
Yeah.
Fucking stop it.
And I probably, like, I don't know if you're just pointing it in this direction because maybe you're not, because I realize it could happen in person too, but maybe I don't get exposed to that as much because I don't have a feed that I go on every day. Like, I don't have a social media presence. And I know from what little I have seen that there are a lot of people that'll be like, oh my god, and they post a comment or a status thing.
Right, but it's not even like, man, Stranger Things was so fucking good. Yeah. It's, have you seen this? And it's like, shut the fuck up, man. Like, if you know somebody that's seen it, talk about it with them. But at the same time, like,
You're not the first one to discover.
Right, but it's also the
Stranger
same reason
Things.
why I don't like the after show bullshit stuff for other TV shows. Yeah, we watched it.
Yeah.
I'm sitting next to somebody. If I want somebody's opinion, I'm gonna go, "Hey Rick, how awesome was that?" Like I don't.
Right.
What was going on in this scene with this character? Fuck off. It's because you're playing the character, one, because the script's already been written, two. If you want just straight reactions for stuff, that's fine, but I'm not going to go to a television show for those reactions.
Yeah.
I'm going to, oh, Bryce, I just watched episode 1 of Stranger Things, dude. Like, that's what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
I don't need to watch an after show fucking discussion.
Right. I think the after show thing's gotten kind of ridiculous. Like, I kind of, when they first, like, Talking Dead is what, I'm not saying it's the innovator of it, but I mean, that's, like, probably the most popular form of it, and then it's branched off from there. What I liked watching that kind of was sort of dependent on the guest, because I'm like, oh, it'd be kind of interesting to hear what they have to say about the show. But with Preacher, for example, they only did it, like I said, after the season premiere and the finale. And I personally watched those specifically because I watched all of that show and I didn't get everything that was going on. And so those after shows actually helped me to understand things as someone who wasn't very familiar with the comic. Because honestly, yeah, you watch that show and it does cater to the comic fan a lot. Like, I'm not saying that, like, you have to read the comic to watch the show, but, like, as someone that knew nothing, I was kind of watching this and I was kind of lost. And so, like, watching that talking preacher after the first episode was helpful for me because it explained a lot of stuff.
I also feel like the comic is the same way because I've read the first 8 issues, the first trade.
Probably,
it's like 8 issues, I think. Like, they don't. The comic is that way too. It doesn't treat you like you're an idiot.
Yeah.
It's like,
here's
here's what's fucking going on,
right.
and you learn along with the characters what is going on. And you and I have talked about that with other things, and like that's when shit is the best. When stories are the best. When it's like, well, so when I was 5 years old, this happened to me, and that's why I'm the person I am today. It's like, no, just be the person you are, and let me figure it out.
Yeah, I would much rather have that.
And I like when comics do that, when video games do that, or when movies or TV shows do that, and Preacher does that in the comics.
Right.
They get into backstory right away, but it throws you in. It throws you in the fucking deep end with no life preserver.
But yeah, I mean, I guess I don't know that I'm taking a side, but just to play devil's advocate, that's just an example to me of an after show that was helpful.
Well, yeah, no, that's cool.
Yeah.
But again, it wasn't fucking 10 weeks of this character. What are they thinking?
Because it's gotten obnoxious. It's like, okay, when Breaking Bad went into its like final season, its second half of season 5, and all of a sudden, like, again, it wasn't every week, but it happened quite a bit. All of a sudden, there's Talking Bad, and it's like, come on, like. Can't you call it something else? Number one.
No, they can't.
And then Talking Preacher.
It goes with the unoriginality, man.
Yeah. No, exactly. And so it's I don't know.
And what it really is a nationally or nationally publicized podcast.
Yeah, and the talking thing has become a brand itself.
Yeah. Yeah.
Have you watched any episodes of Talking Smack?
No, I haven't.
And neither have I, and I won't because I just watched the fucking show.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't need to hear about it. Jesus Christ!
I won't watch that until I find out over a course of a few weeks that relevant things happen on that show. But if it's just going to be them just rehashing shit, it's no big deal. I mean,
that's what all those shows are.
Yeah. So I don't know.
The only one I did watch, and I think I've mentioned this on this podcast before, maybe when I finally watched the series finale of Sons of Anarchy. I think for the last 3 seasons or so, Kurt Sutter was doing a show called After Anarchy. But I only watched the one after the series finale, after the very end, because I was so bummed I didn't want it to be over. Yeah. I was like, what else can I fucking ingest?
Yeah.
And it's like, well, I'm not going to go back and watch these old After Anarchy episodes, because why would I do that? I've already watched all that. And in some cases, it was 3 seasons ago, so I just watched the one after the series finale, and that was it. Because
24.
Well, he's got a show that he needs to watch, so you don't need to add to his plate.
I've tried watching Blade Warren.
You can get into it.
I don't like it.
Yeah.
I can see that.
Mike and I still have a podcast that's still to come. Eventually, when we're 55 years old and he watches Breaking Bad.
We're doing the Metallica thing, man. You can't rush perfection.
Gotta hype it.
You can't rush perfection.
We're gonna have Mission. Mission. Bryce Mike
Yeah.
future podcast. So.
Well, let's do a show. Let's do a podcast about the pre-production of the podcast.
Yeah.
And then
That could be a podcast.
And then the podcast is going to be about two television shows that are fucking a decade old from their first season at this point.
Yeah.
So then after we do that podcast, we'll do a podcast talking about the podcast.
Yeah, exactly. We should. I mean, fuck, even... I realize it's kind of its own show on its own now, but it's the same fucking thing that's fucking that Howard Stern after show. You know what I mean? Like, I was listening to that the other day, and I'm like, this is somewhat entertaining, and there's some things on here, but they're literally rehashing what happened on Howard Stern.
They're talking. They were doing that right out of the gate when he went over there in 2004.
Yeah. But I mean, it's kind of funny though. It's just like I don't know that I need to hear that.
Right.
You know? Especially if I just listen to the show.
So I haven't heard it in a long time, so I don't know what they're doing now because I just haven't listened to Howard in fucking years at this point because he's kind of lost his edge for me. But when I was listening to the after show, I thought it was cool because they weren't just like, it wasn't like, oh man, I know it was really fucking going after this person. It was like, so check it out. So and so was in the studio, and they got off on the wrong foot with Howard this time, and here's why. Here's their last appearance on the show. Here's their first appearance on the show. Here's the beef they've had before, and that's why the vibe was what it was during this interview. And they would never replay the interview that you just heard an hour ago.
Right.
It was always about the more in-depth, behind-the-scenes production of the show and what it took to get this person on, and they said they would never come on again, and why they came on, and why the vibe was like this, so that was good about that show. But towards the end, it really was. Here's a bit from the show that happened today. It was funny, huh, guys?
Yeah.
Like, I don't like that.
Yeah.
I just heard it. Yeah, it was funny when I heard it, guys.
It's still the way that you describe it to an extent, but then there's other times where it's like, oh my god, like why are we breaking down every single thing that Howard Stern said? Like it just
because they have an extra. Because Howard wanted to get out of there early, and they have an extra hour and a half to fill in the time slots.
So there it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I did listen to Howard a little bit recently, and I mean he still cracks me up. He's still funny. It was funny listening to him riff about what's his face, Orlando Bloom's penis for a while. That was kind of funny. So yeah.
I think the last thing that was kind of new, and this was from a long time ago that I really got into, was the impressions he does of his parents.
Oh yeah.
That shit is just too good, man.
What?
It's so funny.
It doesn't help that fucking like, okay, so I realize this isn't fresh, but like it's the parent stuff. Then he hit me because it was also, I think I listened on Robin's birthday, and so he was doing like talking about stuff over the years, and it's like, and you gotta mention Robin singing, and then this whole thing about all the different songs that she's done, and I'm just like, Jesus Christ.
And his him and Fred's Robin impression is fucking gold.
It's hilarious.
Yeah. There's good stuff still, but I haven't. It's been so long.
No, I haven't listened to it regularly either, but. When I'm in a car that's got silent radio, I tend to turn it on. Yeah,
getting a little toasty, right?
It's miserable.
I'm actually doing okay. Like, I'm not dripping in sweat. I'm doing all right.
I'm clammy.
Yeah.
That's it, I'm clammy.
Yeah, I'm a little...
I got a little clam.
Yeah, a little steam.
It's a little clam bake going on in here.
But yeah, I definitely need to watch those shows. I still need to fucking watch more Breaking Bad. I think I talked about this. I'm not going to talk about it because that will be episode 1 of the podcast we do. Is what I want to say right now and what I've talked. I've talked to you about it before, but I don't want to do it here because we could do a whole hour on that. So yeah.
I mean, so I'm confident you'll like Breaking Bad when you watch it, and I'm confident when you get there around it, you're gonna like Stranger. I think you're really gonna like Stranger Things.
Yeah, like just from the trailer and the vibe and just I know I'm gonna like it. I just haven't. I don't want to. I have to be in moods for things, whether it be movies or TV shows, and I don't know. I just haven't really been in the mood for a thriller type of thing. I haven't really been in the mood for anything really, like movie wise. Like
it's more like a mystery.
It was hard enough to get out, like to actually. I really wanted to see Suicide Squad, but just to say, all right, let's go, because I'm just I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm in a weird spot right now when it comes to how I want to spend my time.
Yeah.
Highly recommend Sausage Party whenever you get the chance.
Yeah. I really want to see that in the right setting, so I really want to wait till it's in the dollar theater. when parents are taking kids that shouldn't be in there. Like, I want to see that movie in the right setting, and a
That
theater
would be
full
funny.
of parents and children is how I want to see that movie.
Well, the right setting is in the screening that they showed at your local grocery store. I mean, that would be the right thing. So,
Yeah.
God, that movie was so good.
I'm glad you guys liked it, and I'm
I
sure
like it a
I'll
lot.
enjoy it. It's in one of my theaters this week.
oh, cool.
I'm whizzing by all those fucking kind of funny chumps,
Are you?
bitches.
So, how close are we to starting the new season of where we can all play?
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
I think there's 2 weeks left.
Okay. Just keep us informed.
Yeah.
I think
The
that'd be fun.
20. No, next weekend is the last weekend I think for the summer movie.
Okay.
And then fall, and then awards season is like 20 weeks or something like that. It's a long season,
Uh-huh.
and then spring, and then summer.
I mean, we have to sign up by a certain point. Like, how does it
Well,
work?
just sign up for an account now. You
Okay.
can have it now. You
What's
just don't
the
have to do
website?
anything. There's an app now, so you can just do it through an app. Fantasy Movie League.
Are you going to do it?
Already signed up. Oh, I already have the app.
Okay.
You
Fantasy-
downloaded it.
Do we create like a group or something?
We
Or-
can-
FML.
Yeah, Fantasy Movie League, FML. Yeah, we can create a group
Okay, yeah, let's do it.
and
I'll
do
get
that.
it.
Yeah. Yeah, all those fuckers gave up, man. Like
They-
Colin gave up. Like I don't know if they've been talking about it or at all on the Colin and Greg live show.
I haven't heard him talk about
But-
it much.
Yeah, like Colin gave up. Like he was the one that was like, I'm just gonna beat all you guys. Like I'm very serious about fantasy sports. Blah, 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 blah. And
Sorry,
he
it was
like
everything.
like the last movie he put in a theater was Finding Dory, and it was like the second week it was out, and he didn't put anything else in any of his theaters.
Yeah,
And it's just been rolling over.
I think they probably all just stopped caring between like trying to get the studio ready and all that.
Kevin
stuff.
was doing really good for a while, and then fucking Nick came out of nowhere and just surpassed Kevin this week. And I passed up Greg's, and I'm really close to passing Kevin now. I'm really excited. I was really worried about this week, but projections are I'm going to do about 85 million. So
Okay.
not where I want to be, but it'll get me past those fuckers. I really did. It's really fun.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm curious to try.
Alright.
I waited till Thursday night at 1 in the morning. I was like, or so Friday morning at 1 a.m. and I was like, fuck, I need to do this. Because if I don't do it now, I'll sleep through the deadline because it's at 9 a.m. Eastern.
On Friday?
Yeah. And
Do they not count Thursday box office then?
no.
So just Fridays.
Yeah.
Okay.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Shall we move on to video games if there is any?
Yeah, I beat Skate last night. This brand new
Again?
game called Skate.
Oh wow.
I beat it last
Tell
night.
us about skate.
So it's a revolutionary game. I'm sure you guys have played Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, right? And like how those games have gotten really cartoony and arcadey over the years. This is a very realistic simulation of skateboarding, and yeah, Skate's one of my favorite franchises. And yeah, I just got the urge to play through the Skate games recently to go along with the skateboard YouTube channel I was watching. I was telling you about last week, and I was like,
I
man,
want to get a skateboard.
I really
I do
want to
wanna
play
get a
those games.
skateboard.
Rick's gonna skate with us, me and Mike.
Yeah.
Are you gonna do
I
it
want
too?
to get a skateboard.
I mean, I'm not against doing it. I just told you I really want a boosted board. I'm not against getting a regular skateboard either.
Boosted board.
They have a video of them riding the boosted board at a
Do
skate
they?
park. Yeah, you should probably
Well,
check
I'm,
out
I'm
Oh,
subscribed. to
Bridal
the YouTube
Skateboarding
channel.
on YouTube.
I'm already a subscriber.
But yeah, I got really excited yesterday, 2 days ago actually. So the skateboard company that a lot of the guys on the Braille channel skate for is Revive Skateboards. And
Did you get it already?
no, I haven't ordered
Oh,
it.
okay.
But so the guy and their warehouse is in Cincinnati,
Okay.
where all the boards are made and come from. And they have like a little skate park inside the warehouse, the shred quarters as they call it, which I think is a great name. So the guy has a son who's about 3 years old. One of the guys has a son, he's 3 years old, and he wanted to go skate. So they all have their own YouTube channel, so he's got his own channel, which I just recently subscribed to because I've noticed that he does a lot of videos with his son, and I think
Okay.
it's awesome. So I came across a video 2 days ago of his son saying, Dad, I want to go to the... He's 3 years old. Very fucking... Dude, I don't know if he's a super genius kid, but like I understood every word he was saying. Maybe it's because I've been through 2 children, so I can understand
Yeah.
child gibberish. But like he's like, Dad, I want to go to HQ. I want to skate today. And he's like, okay. So he took him, and like the kid is on a full size board. It's a 7.5-inch board, but it's a full size 31-inch board. And he's 3 years old, and he's pushing, and he's dropping in on banks.
That's
and
awesome.
I was like, holy shit, I gotta show this to
No
Michael.
fear.
So I showed it to Michael, and he's like, Dad, I need a skateboard now. And I was like, okay, we're in. We're all in on this then.
Sorry.
So he's all about it.
That's cool.
And yeah, I already Did you see some of that segment last week? The board I'm gonna get.
I don't think I saw that one.
Yeah.
But which one? I saw all the boards.
The Minecraft.
Okay, yeah, that's a cool board.
Yeah, so that's the board I'm gonna get him. But yeah, he seems really pumped about it. And every day he's like, Dad, can we watch skateboards? And I was like, sure. And then after that, he's like, can we watch Nerf guns? So we watch skateboards and Nerf guns every day on YouTube.
Mike's probably like, when you get a little older, I'll introduce you something called CKY.
You know, it's funny, you talk about coming over here, you know, film a skateboard.
Mm-hmm.
If we do that, I guarantee you my neighbor across the street will come out and start skateboarding too.
Really?
He
Nice.
skates. Well, he used to skate.
Cool.
But I bet he will.
Is he our age or something, or what?
Yeah, like 2 or 3 years older.
But yeah, like I've got like this whole inspiration now with that, and Mike wants to do it, so I'm all in with him, and we're gonna embark on a journey of scraped knees and bruised shins pretty
There you
soon.
go.
Crazy.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I'm not against doing that at all. Like I said, I'd skate. Boosted board I just think looks cool, so I want one of those too. Like I want it all. I want it all.
I want it all.
So yeah, from where that came up, skate. Finished that. Skate 2's next. I've already started. I've already
The second one's
restarted
already
all
coming
these.
out, even though the first one is coming
Oh
out.
yeah, dude, it's out. It's
Oh,
already
that's
out.
crazy.
They all came
Oh.
out on the same day.
Oh.
I got all 3 of them.
Damn.
Yeah, they're on PS3 though.
Yeah.
It's still last gen.
It is. I haven't gotten into skate. I've been playing too much Burnout Paradise. Have you played that?
I tried playing that recently with somebody, but that person broke my heart and was like, "Nope, I don't want to play with you ever
Yeah.
again.
That's what happened.
I don't want to play Burnout with you ever."
Oh.
He's like, "Fuck Burnout," and I was like, "All right, well, you broke my heart. I just went and traded it in and got 10 cents for it.
That's what he did.
How much is a PS? The
Three?
used PS3.
Still probably like $200, $250.
I'm not gonna spend that much for it.
I mean, the real story is he messaged me at like 3:45 or something in the afternoon. And
Not in
I
the
was just
morning,
about
in
to
the
hang out.
afternoon.
I was like, sorry, dude, I'm just going out right now. I'm like, oh, whatever.
So,
Whatever.
I guess that's the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have much to contribute to video games right now. I mean, I'm stuck.
Have you been playing anything?
I haven't. I mean, last thing I played was Stick of Truth, and I haven't returned.
Yeah, that game is
Yeah.
so good.
Yeah, I
Fuck,
can't
that
wait to
game
play
is
more.
good. Yeah, that and
I'm trying to dive into that more in the next couple weeks.
I'm still on my slow but sure getting through Red Dead. I'm about 6 or 8
sure,
hours
yeah.
in. God, I love that game. That game is so fucking good. You know, if one were to make a list of his favorite games of the generation, I think that would probably be in the top 5.
I think that was a spoiler.
I mean, I have a list already made, so
It was a spoiler.
we need to get on that. And by we, I mean you twos. Motherfuckers,
know.
get on that list.
My list happened organically. I don't like. I'll have to think. Like I don't know. I like
Hey.
the pressure.
Well,
Since we're talking about lists, I think we should get into something.
a list? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let's
So
do it.
recently, Bryce and I watched.
I told him I didn't
Hot
want to talk about
Fuzz.
this on the podcast.
Oh, are we ranking those 3?
Hold on, no. Hot Fuzz and World's End.
Well done. Okay.
I remember how I said World's End is my favorite movie of all time. It's
Yeah.
ranked number 1 and all that.
Yeah.
I've come to a realization. I think making lists is bullshit now.
Why?
I knew this is exactly where this was going.
Yeah. Not necessarily bullshit, but I think it's kind of hard to say. I think, well, you kind of like with music, where you listen to like a song and it just takes you back to that time.
Yeah.
I think it's more about making a movie that are or music for that time.
Right.
So like
Or a game, or a book, or any form of art.
exactly.
Yeah, I hear you.
I guess it's kind of like a generations deal.
Yeah.
Like Bryce, I got Bryce to watch Good Will Hunting finally.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's a great.
And he kept saying, "Oh, your favorite movie really is Good Will Hunting," and this and this. I'm like, it's my favorite movie, just like The World's End is my favorite movie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
but that's where I was correct. I'm like, no, you said World's End is your number 1 movie now. And then I knew, just by his wording, that this was the direction he was going to go. And he's like, they're all my favorite
Yeah.
movies.
Okay,
I'm like, that's
so-
stupid.
So here's the deal. So, Good Will Hunting is my favorite movie for that time
At
or
that time.
era that
Okay.
I watched it.
Okay.
So right now, my favorite movie for this time that I'm living in right now is The World's End.
Okay.
So that technically they're both number 1 favorite movies,
Uh-huh.
but for different times.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, I got you.
Kind of like
It makes sense, but I think it's bullshit.
Chronologically.
chronologically.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, cause you could set, like, you could listen to a song.
Autobiographically.
Oh yeah, there you go. Autobiographically.
yeah.
So
I definitely get that. So that's why that's one of the main reasons why, like, the whole game of the generation idea, that it's not just I didn't come up with it, other people have done it already, other people want to do it. But I feel like now we're far enough away from PS3, Xbox 360, Wii, DS, PSP. We're far enough away from those games
so you can make a
that
list.
you can go back and be like, man, yeah, that game, fucking, in that time, that game was my favorite game. Like, that's not saying that the number one game on my list of my favorite game of the last console generation is my favorite game ever. But if I'm thinking about it right now, I would say that if I were to say what my favorite game of all time is, it might be the one that's number one on that list. But that doesn't necessarily mean that'll stay that way. Like, something better may come along, something that captures my imagination more may come along. That's why I wouldn't want to say what was... That's why it's hard for me to do, like, what's your favorite movie of 2016? At the end of the year, I don't feel like you're far enough away from all that stuff. But at the same time, I enjoy making lists like that because I've talked about it on here before. I enjoy having those arguments with myself in my head. Why did I like movie A more than I like movie B?
I hate it.
I love it. I love it.
You guys know I hate it. I hate it.
I know. I haven't made you do a list in a while.
I don't like it.
We're gonna do one
I
soon.
don't want to.
Yeah.
I think Rick's movie posters tell the story because he says he doesn't have a favorite, but look what's first. or Chasing Amy.
Yeah. We're gonna do a. We're gonna.
Zen's in the middle.
But you get what I'm saying, though?
Yeah, I hear you.
Oh, I get it. I just think it's a stupid cop out. Because you were willing to call Good Will Hunting your favorite movie for like almost your entire life, and then World's End was your favorite movie for like 2 or 3 years, and you're like, I can't part with Good Will Hunting. I have to say they're all my favorite.
I think we should rank.
That's the truth. I think we should rank nothing.
We should rank those Edgar Wright movies.
Oh, I can do that right now.
I don't want to do that.
I could do that.
Easy.
I could do that right now too.
Go for it.
You first.
Yeah, you first.
No, I want to hear
I
yours.
see, yeah.
I want to hear yours.
Sean?
Uh-huh.
That makes no sense.
But how is World's End your
That's
favorite
exactly how it
movie?
makes no sense.
Yeah, and then you're gonna say Sean first.
I did it to get it right.
That's stupid. You guys can do this fucking episode when I'm gone.
I mean, I could very easily.
I was just waiting for Bryce. I just wanted to say Sean because of Bryce.
I knew he was gonna do that. It's predictable.
It's.
I know you're
Yeah. Then why'd you
I think
jump?
I know your order.
What's my order?
I think it's Hot Fuzz, Sean, and then World's End.
Yeah, he got, you know me. You know me so well. Yeah, that's what it is. And that's like, now if I went back and watched them all back to back to back, I might have a different view, but thinking about how those movies made me feel when they came out, that's my order. Hot Fuzz, Sean, and World's End.
Oh yeah, well, what's my order?
Mm-hmm. What's his order?
What's my order, Bryce?
I think Rick's order.
World's End.
If you're
World's End.
playing it, it's World's End, and then I think
Sean.
then I think it's Hot Fuzz.
I think Sean and then Hot Fuzz.
Oh wow, both of you. Bryce is right.
Okay.
It's not fair though, because I remember Rick first saw Shaun of the Dead like on TV in like an edited version. He's like, I don't really get the hype.
Yeah.
And so I think he likes it more.
Is that
now.
why you make him watch it once a year?
No, I don't make him. I was just in the mood.
Well, I saw Hot Fuzz in theaters.
Yeah.
So I just kind of knew, like, based off that, I think Rick definitely like likes Shaun of the Dead. Like, I don't think he ever disliked it, but I think he likes it way more now.
I think my love for the movies that Fuzz is spoofing,
Oh, good, you ordered it.
I enjoy more than the movies that Sean is spoofing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I don't feel like The World's End is spoofing anything.
No.
You know what I mean? And that's not to say that Hot Fuzz and Shaun of the Dead are just derivative movies. They're their own things, but they definitely take cues from other things. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's Whiplash, and then I was giving him shit the other day. It's
Oh.
like, how could this be your favorite movie and you don't own
And he
it?
bought the 3-pack.
Yeah.
What a
Well, I
asshole.
know all of them. I have that too, though. So.
But yeah, we should do I mean, we just did it, but we should make Bryce make that list.
Video game list?
No, the
Hot Fuzz?
yeah, the Edgar Wright movie.
Edgar Wright movies? What is it?
I don't like making
Here,
lists.
wait, hold on. Just no less than 5 minutes ago, he was like, "Hey, fucking, maybe I like the pressure. I'll do it right. I'll do it off the top
I
of my
do it
head."
organically.
When it comes, but like I don't have to do this right now.
But what you just said,
It's
you
not
work
for-
better
but
under
it's not for
pressure.
anything. Well, no. my point was is when I make these lists, like you guys are working, like you work on it for like a week or two, or maybe or even throughout.
My games one took me like
I
2
ended
or 3
up
months.
doing it like the day before we're gonna record, and I just take down everything that I saw, and I just for me, I feel like I can't overthink it. I feel like if I overthink it, I'm gonna get in my own head, and so that's why I feel like that's to be more instant. But I don't want it.
I have other lists I want to make.
The thing that's crazy about that trilogy, as I'm sure you know too, is it doesn't matter how many times you watch them. I feel like I pick up something new almost every time I watch all of them, even how they're connected, or even them just on their own.
Yeah,
it's crazy. Like,
I want you guys to make a list of your favorite movie trilogies. I want your favorite video game trilogies. I want to make lists. I love conversations about this
I
stuff.
think you guys should make a bunch of lists in September.
In September.
Yeah, that's when he's gonna be gone.
Oh, yeah.
In fact, anytime after September 6th, go for it. Fucking do it.
All right. I think that's our show
Well,
for today.
okay, then before you go on that trip, we need to do the Games of the Generation show.
You want
Yes.
to do that soon?
I want to do it before you leave. We've got like 2 weeks.
Send me a list of the console generation.
So PS3, Wii, and
360,
well,
or DS and
Okay.
PSP.
I'm just gonna do the ones that I've had in my lifetime.
That's fine.
well, that's how
Yeah,
it has to
that's-
be.
yeah,
I can't
that's what it
say
would be,
anything
like-
about 360 or PSP.
Right.
Yeah.
All right.
PSP.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'll count.
I
That
thought it
counts.
was Vita.
Yeah.
I just got confused because I remember there was PlayStation Portable. Wasn't that the code name for Vita before it became that, or was
no,
it
it
called
was Next Generation
Next.
Portable.
NGP?
Yeah, NGP.
That's right.
But yeah, we're doing that. So,
Next week.
There's way.
will that be the last one?
No.
The 20. That's the 27. 20.
2 more
Seven.
Saturdays. The 3rd
Okay.
and the 28th.
The 3rd.
That has to be the third, yeah. Because the 27th.
We might have to do it on. We might have to do it on the 4th, or maybe in the evening on the 3rd if you're free. Can we like tentative plan for like evening on the 3rd? Because the 3rd is the Michael's last T-ball game and the team party. And again, that stuff should be done by 2:00. Everything should be done by 2.
And the other thing is,
But by then it's peak heat, and if you just want to wait till like the evening,
we might not even
have a
record
couple
next week though, right?
couple of drinks.
Next week we probably might not even record.
Okay.
Perhaps.
Well,
What are you
let's
doing?
just- He's getting his mom.
Kill my mom.
Let's just figure it out when it gets closer.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
This is all.
Yeah. I'm open, but I didn't know because there's a lot of stuff I have to do before leaving too.
Okay.
I'm not trying to worm my way
No,
out of
yeah,
it.
you
No,
are.
I'm not. I'll be there. I don't worm my way out of anything.
Okay.
I don't like making lists.
So the majority of the games that you're gonna end up being on your list are PS3 games, obviously, because that's the console you had.
When I started off with Nintendo.
Well, no, but this is just for PS3, 360, Wii, DS.
Starting with the PS1?
No. You're
God,
not
I
listening.
heard this. You still don't
Yeah.
get this. Console
Console generation.
Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis.
Yes.
Like that
That's
was
a
in a
console
generation. This generation just PS3,
PS3, 360,
Nintendo Wii, and the 360, and then
handheld.
the Nintendo DS.
Not
That's
the
it.
not the 3DS, the regular DS.
I never had the DS.
Okay.
Well, I never had a 360. So for you, it's probably just gonna be
Just the PS3 games, basically.
and whatever maybe you played on Wii. I don't know if you played anything on the Wii.
Alright.
That's it.
I played a few stuff on the Wii.
Okay.
So
So I will say top 5.
just make my list right now.
5. We
We're
can do
not
top 5.
PS3.
So we'll do top 5. I have 20 fucking games that I could rattle off, and then still feel bad about leaving things off the list.
So we're not rating them. We're rating them off generation, not off like best PS3 games of generation, best Wii games of generation. You want me to
No.
combine them?
Mhm. That's better. I'm making you make one list instead
I
of
know,
3 lists.
I know. I don't like it.
I know, but that's what we're doing. That's it. That'll be the show before you leave.
Burnout Paradise has to be number 1.
Just shut up. That's not the show. I'm put.
It's organic. It's
Won't
happening.
you be my neighbor?
Some shit we like, Game of the Generation, spoilers, is gonna be Burnout Paradise.
You don't know that.
I think it's gonna
You
be.
don't know
I
that.
think it should be.
I love it. Your Mr. Rogers crack was so funny because that's
Alright,
exactly
and you're putting
what
your
I
shoes
feel
back
like
on.
right now. Because now once this
Put
goes
the
up,
shoes on.
I'm gonna change my shirt. I'm gonna change my hat, and then we're gonna get the fuck out of here.
But that will do it for this week's episode.
Yeah.
200 episodes.
And Rick said it wouldn't last. Remember that? Remember?
Still not gonna last.
We were talking about.
What is that? See, what kind of
I
attitude?
know. Well, I don't remember what we were talking about, but somebody had just done like 400 and something episodes. So I think we were talking about what was next on the list of
Trying
shows to beat.
Yeah.
I think it was Alan Thicke. He did something like, or The Thick of the Night was actually longer than people thought because it was in Canada.
Yeah.
And he's like, it was like 200 and something. And he's like, ooh, we're not going to make it that long. Well, here we are, bitch. We're at 200.
For everybody who thought this wouldn't last, no, I go and kiss Mike.
All right.
Yeah, you got the
Some show we
reference,
like.
Yes.
At some show we like on Twitter, and if you're watching this on YouTube, we're on Twitch.
Yep.
TV/SSWL Network. You can watch us live mostly every Saturday, sometimes Sunday. Until next time.
That was some shit we like.
One more time. In 3, 2, 1.